Hello guys, welcome to the new video. This time I go again over the turbo drive Mark IV because I made few upgrade, so I'm gonna explain, and this is the definitive version. So the old video I probably gonna delete because now I'm gonna explain everything. Pretty much the change is here. The stroke wheel before was on brass material, and since the spring is very hard steel, so it's gonna wear out easy the brass material here. So now is regular steel black hole, so it's gonna resist a lot. It's not gonna, because when you wear out, of course, is gonna increase the stroke and the machine start running not correctly. So now it's gonna keep the tuning a lot more, and the flat spring, the one touched the bearing that create the movement of the bar. Now I put a different type of springs, and I put two. Before was only one, now I put two, one small behind and one longer. So this setup is way better, okay? Pretty much is the same exactly as the old one. So let's go on the here. Can you see you have three machines here? Okay, regular one, click cord. Then I made some with RCA and also click cord. You can I made a small hole on the part that hold the RCA, so you are able to connect your click cord also. And then I made a special version specific for cartridge, because before I try many way to put some rubber band to hold the bar. It never really worked good with the cartridge, but now I offered a specific version for cartridge and it worked perfect. And the regular one is only for regular needle, so you have the two options. That's it. Don't come out with, oh, I want to use all with one, because that's not gonna happen, okay? That's it. One regular needle, one specific for cartridge. That is already a very good deal, okay? So let's go on the regular needle. Let's explain something first, because a lot of people asking about, what kind of needle I can use. I want to use 3-liner, or I use 5-liner. Okay, this type of machine was created by Dan Kubin, okay, the Sidewinder or Sidewinder. I don't know how you pronounce in America. This system born for power liner, okay, specific for power liner, for make it easier. Why? Because any machine can push a 3-liner needle. You don't need a special expensive and technological machine. Any simple machine can push a 5-liner needle. You don't need something like this. So I don't see the point to buy those machines for small needle. Of course you can run, no problem, but like I say, any simple rotary, any normal regular coil machine can run pretty good a small needle. The problem is, and also for shading, yes, you can use to push magnum, absolutely, no problem. But it's this system primarily born for power line, to make it easy push a thick liner needle, okay? And it is really good. I can say it's really good. So let's go on the setup of the regular needle. Okay, for those specific system, like the Sidewinder system, normally when you set up a needle bar on the line, you put the needle bar on top and you bend the needle down. Okay, for those rotary, flip the needle bar. So you're gonna have the needle bar down and the needle group on top. That is the best way. Why this? To avoid possible ink spitting. Okay, that's it. So you bend the needle bar straight. Okay, don't bend the needle bar. That's it. Needle group a little bit down, okay? And then where you have the loop, the circle, okay, you bend also a little bit down. So you're gonna have, I think you can see, okay, see, against the machine, straight bar, and the needle also against the tips of the tube. That's it. Okay. Grommets. Here we go. Since those type of machine, they running a long stroke and harder compare any regular coils machine, you cannot use a standard grommet because they snap very easy. Or you find some hard grommets, or you have to use the paper. Also here, another things I get mad about, because some people say, hey, but me, I don't find hard grommets, so I use the regular one. Hey, but man, it's like you go in the gasoline station, you have a petrol car, the petrol is finished and you put the diesel. And no, man, not gonna work like this. You fucked up the motor, and here is the fucking same. You don't find the hard grommet, you use the paper. Paper is cheap. Everybody have a paper. Okay, that's it. So you don't have an excuse. If you use my grommet, like the crystal one, with the famous tool you find inside, you open a little bit the loop, the needle bar loop. You can use also some of those, okay, you see this? This is is a tube, is a rubber tube that you cut yourself. No, normally always was transparent, but I find a red one and it's good. In this case, okay, let's set up with this so I explain something. Okay, because on the regular grommets, open a little bit the tube, the loop, and that's it. You already know. With this rubber silicone tube, I don't know what material is, okay, if you put the needle bar like how come out from the blister, okay, what's happened that maybe with the vibration and everything, it keep going down and touch the frame, so it's not good. So I suggest to close, in this case, to close with the regular plier the loop. Yes, so it's hold more strong, and you just gonna leave like little bit, you see, like 1 millimeter from the armature bar and the bar. This not gonna move because hold very tight, and this is very soft, but it's strong. It's not gonna snap. As because the regular grommets soft, they snap. This rubber, even is soft, it don't snap. I don't know what material is, but it's strong, so it can work. So regular tube, normal, okay. Yes, yeah, you see, you leave some, just a little bit, like 1 millimeter is okay. How to put the rubber band? Okay, here we use my rubber band, the flat one, and you see here I have some parts is carved on the frame. This is the holding the bands. You go there and you wrap on the motor, okay? If you use some rubber band that is too light, you can put 2, or you can go, when you wrap in the motor, you also wrap on the contact. You can see here, so it is go a little bit more tension. Don't need with my rubber band, is enough like this. And when you set up the machine, okay, this is very important. You see here, the rubber band still have some space between the rubber band and the frame and the tube, whatever. This steel tube, the length is 108 millimeter, is the regular standard of the disposable tube. Normally it's from 105 millimeter to 110. The most common is 108 millimeter, so it's perfect. You're never gonna have a tube longer, don't exist. Or maybe you have to, because in this case you can set up the front part longer or the back part longer. But after, what's happened? If the rubber band, when moving, touch the frame or the tube, it's gonna cut himself, okay? So you always need to have some space, like 5 millimeter something. So you see, this move and never gonna touch here, never gonna cut, no way. Very important. With the standard tube, if the machine, the rubber band touch the tube of the frame, this means that the frame geometry is wrong. They made some mistake, they made it wrong. Because yes, on this steel tube, I can reduce, I can put this, the back stem more inside, but what about with this? This I can do is a standard length, it's gonna be fucked, because the tube gonna touch the rubber band and gonna cut the rubber band, so it's wrong. So this is calculate on the perfect distance, okay? That's it. The machine comes with the maximum stroke, 4 millimeter. If you wanna reduce the stroke, the only things you can do, because you cannot go much, you take the hexagon key that come with the machine. You can see from in the middle of the two clip cord contact, you have a small hole. Inside this hole have a screw. So you just release the screw, and by your finger, you move with the finger this, the wheel, the stroke wheel. That's it, and you lock again. Don't really need to lock very strong, okay? Because in between the screw and the wheel, they have some rubber inside, so it make a friction. It not gonna, with the vibration, it don't unscrew or screw back. No, never gonna happen, okay? Honestly, for me, it's perfect with the maximum stroke. You don't really need to touch the stroke, but up to you. I suggest to leave how the machine comes set up, that is perfect. Okay, here we're running at 4.8 volts. Five volts. Yes, and what's more, we go on there. Okay, here in front, you see, have a screw that hit the frame, so that create this sound like a coil machine, pretty much. Once in a while, after using a lot the machine, of course, this screw, it wear out a little bit, so you have to recuperate a little bit. How? You can see here in the side, the same hexagon screw for the stroke. You release a bit, like a quarter of turn, this side small screw, and then from the top with the same key, you adjust a quarter of turn clockwise. So this is recuperate the screw going down, so you recuperate the material that wear out. That's it. Lock again here. Also here, don't need the lock a lot, because inside there's a rubber, so that's it. A little bit like this. Never do this way, okay? Because you force too much. Don't need. You can see this, the hexagon key is one part long, one part short. So that's it. Perfect. And here we go. Click cord, always positive connection, so the red, on lower part, okay, bottom. So the motor gonna spin clockwise and is more powerful than anti-clock, because if you invert positive on top, the motor spin anti-clockwise is okay, but have a little bit less punch. So best way is running clockwise. So pretty much on this. So this, like I say, for regular needle, RCA and click core. So you can use a battery too. Can plug on top. That's it. Okay. Now we go on the specific one for cartridges. This is only RCA, because the people use cartridge normally use RCA, or they have already a battery pen that most of the time you run RCA also. So I can go here with the battery and talk about a few things about battery stuff. The main difference here is, okay, you don't have the stroke wheel behind, because for the cartridge, if you start reducing too much the stroke, it's not gonna hit. You don't have the punch. So I set up a fixed stroke 3.5 millimeter, but it's not a 3.5 millimeter of a regular rotary that just spin and push. This you have a punch, so it's like a coil machine. Because if you think about a coil machine, never have 3 millimeter and a half of stroke. It's a huge stroke, and already hit a lot. So that's, you know what I mean? So don't touch I mean, it's not a wheel anymore. It's like an hexagon bolt. Actually, is an hexagon bolt. Don't touch the screw here, nothing. Okay. The flat spring from the back and here are different compared to the regular needle version. Okay. And as you see here, I remove the compression spring that push the bar up. So you see here, it's free. The bar is free. Why is free? Because when you connect the cartridge inside has a membrane, okay, is elastic. So this elastic push up the bar. You don't need the spring anymore because the cartridge have a spring. That's why you can use a regular needle on this one, because it's not gonna go up. It's always stay down. Needle bar for pushing the cartridge. The medium size is 90 millimeter, okay? Normally, when you buy a grip, it comes with 2 or 3 different size of bar. It's the medium one. Again, the same. You can use a soft grommet, they're gonna snap. So paper always work and it's cheap. Or if you use my grommet, the crystal one, again, open with the tool a little bit the loop. You go. Let's see, here we go. Set up. Yes. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. Okay, now this specific case, normally you don't really need the rubber band, okay, because you don't have to keep the needle straight and in tension, since this is free and just push the cartridge. But to be sure that this with the vibration don't fall out, and also to keep a little bit in tension a little bit the needle bar, you just take one rubber band and you stretch a bit, like one time, that's it. So basically you need a rubber band not too tight. Voila. You put in there, that's it, same. Okay, perfect. So let's go here now with the battery directly. You can see 4.5 volts. You can see the punch like a coil machine. That's it. You can run a cartridge like with a punch. So for liner as a game changer, because it's like you pushing your cartridge with almost like a coil machine. That's it. This is the only, nothing to touch, don't adjust nothing, fixed stroke, monkey proof, very simple to use. Okay, those machine, all the version, the regular need for the regular needle for cartridge, they have the same motor, is a 6-volt motor. So the recommended voltage is between 4.5 and 5.5 volts, and is already strong. About the battery, very important, you have to know this. Most of the battery, they start running at 5 volts, normally battery pack. From the critical to the original, I don't know who made the what is called? Another pen company that made the battery. Forget the one from Franco Vescovi, Bishop, yeah. At this one I'm not sure, but the critical I think is 5 to 12 volts. Most of the Chinese battery is 5 to 12 volts. So what that mean? If you can't go lower than 5 volts on rotary machine with the 6-volt motor is not very good. The Dan Kubin machine are all 6-volt motor, so if you can go lower than 5, it's not good, because you already maybe are too strong of the voltage and the speed that you really want to use. So I find out that this brand Ambition, their battery, they start at 4 volts. Also, this one, XNet, this I buy in, you can find in probably in Amazon. I buy in AliExpress direct from China. So those two batteries, they start at 4 volts. Very good. You can use perfectly also on Dan Kubin machine. One more important thing is the famous option that is called jump start. Most of those battery, they have a jump start. What that mean? That this is mean that any voltage you start, from the minimum voltage to, okay, not the maximum, because the maximum I think you don't have anymore, but okay, when you start running at minimum voltage, when you start the machine for a fraction of seconds, it jumped to 8 or 9 volts. Okay, why happened this? Because it was born for those rotary machine that the motor is not enough strong to push the cartridge, because the cartridge, never forget, there's a resistance of the membrane. Imagine that when the first cartridge machine was invented, the Cheyenne used a Faulhaber motor that it was very weak. The motor don't have the power to push the cartridge without the jump start. So the original power supply from Cheyenne have a jump start automatic. If you want to use with a different power supply, you need to buy a special cable that have some things between the machine and the power supply that have a circuit that create this jump start, because the engine, the motor was not powerful enough. Okay, so the problem is with those machine of 6-volt motor, What's happened if you can't remove the jump start? It's happened that every time you start, you have a bump to 8 volt, but the motor is 6 volt maximum, so you're gonna fuck up the motor very easy. So this specific brand and this, you can remove, is able to remove the jump start. So when you put 4 volts, 4.5 volts, 5 volts, and you start the machine start exactly at the voltage you see here. It's not, you don't have this bump at 8 volt that's gonna fuck the motor. So this is very important. Of course, if your machine is a 12 volt motor, no problem. You can have a jump start. No, that's nothing matter. But the main point is the 6 volt motor. Like I say, all the Cubin machine have 6 volt motor. So if you use a battery with jump start, you're gonna fuck the motor also, huh? So that's it. I think I cover everything. So turbo drive, Mark IV, regular needle, I mean set up for regular needle only. Some is only clip core, some is RCA and clip core connection, and the same model, turbo drive Mark IV, specific setup for cartridge. Cartridge only, you can run regular needle here. So if you use cartridge, go for this. If you use regular needle, go for this, and that's it. Battery, click core, whatever you want to use. I think I cover everything. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.